So a couple of days ago, I talked about id Software and the future of the company, what they can do after Doom Eternal: The Ancient Gods Part 2, because that was recently pushed out the door, it was released. Today I wanted to talk about the legacy of id Software, and how I feel like id Software, like current era, Marty Stratton, Hugo Martin, so many super soldiers at id Software, fucking working away on these new Doom games, and we appreciate it. And I just wanted to talk about how in 2016, we weren't sure whether Doom 2016 would be actually any good. You have Hugo Martin and Marty Stratton, like a new creative team. Marty Stratton has been with the company since, I believe, Quake 2. Him sort of directing the game with Hugo Martin, a brand new creative team. This is after Carmack left, this is after everyone left, basically, of the original team, except for Kevin Cloud, the OG. And id Software were in a bit of a rough patch. I mean, Rage came out and Doom 3 BFG came out. They weren't doing much. And yes, they were working on Doom, but that whole project, the Call of Duty Doom that they were working on, that got completely scrapped. And luckily Bethesda, was like, okay, you can work on Doom 2016, or what ended up being Doom 2016, with a brand new creative team. And it's kind of crazy how we went from sort of very rocky times in, 2010, 2011, 2012, that era of id Software, very rocky times. And all we got internally was like Rage and Doom 3 BFG. So id Software, very rocky times. And it wasn't a surefire thing that Doom 2016 was going to be good in the slightest. But it was. It captured the magic of, classic Doom. And the way that Doom 2016 came out the way that it did, I mean, you kind of have to tip your hat off to id Software. Like, it's a miracle, actually. And then, with Doom Eternal, they just blew everything out of the water. They made things... they made everything better with Doom Eternal. Like, pretty much everything is improved, from the combat to the graphics, everything. Every mechanic is improved and tweaked. Like, we got Hugo Martin, who, didn't work at id Software beforehand, that he came in and just kicked ass and took names. Obviously, there were developers, working on the projects, but it's just weird, man, how... in 2010, 2011, nobody had hope for this Doom 4. That's important to remember, like the legacy of id Software, and sort of where they came from when they made Doom 2016, and what was going on beforehand. I think it's interesting to bring this up, and to also just point out how community-driven id Software is, and how, even though the creative team has changed quite a lot, the soul of the company is still there. They just like making cool action games. They don't take themselves that seriously. id Software is one of my favorite game companies for that reason. I like how they just fucking don't care, and they just have fun with their games. And yes, it is easy to criticize id Software for, I don't know, DLC 2, for example, or whatever, the anti-cheat controversy or whatever. But when you bring all those things up, just remember, where they came from with, like, the cancelled Doom 4 game and all of that stuff, huge creative changes within the company, huge, team changes. It's kind of interesting to look at how lucky we have it. Like, we have so many cool companies, like New Blood, Running with Scissors, id Software, and I am so glad that they're in this 90s FPS community, and I'm so glad they're so community driven. I don't think we fully kind of realize, or, maybe appreciate how lucky we have it with these companies, willing to listen to their audience, very community driven, and how good these new Doom games are, hiccups and all. So anyway, that's going to do it for me, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.